5 minutes to the top of the hour. 4 p.m. Ivan Akwaba.
Alaska Majoso.
Not Boko dear.
Brenna Nipabre.
On my way, as you know, work and pay. To be a good citizen and a patriotic. And easy.
Alaska, it depends on what gives you satisfaction. You see,
it depends on what gives you satisfaction.
Oh yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, normally, no, you premise everything on monitoring.
No.
If you believe in what you're doing, you have the right conviction. Not unim the way. Some of these things they move because you don't do these things to be rewarded by Ubi.
That's right.
To become somebody's dog. You'll be at the beck and call. No.
That's right.
You'll be a person of your own, straight to your conviction or whatever. I know the day which kind of when you be a fine, when you be a, I think would make a good name for yourself. That is better.
Good name is better than riches.
For making riches, then as a for no move, you'll be a crank. Oh yes. O can see for Okroma, so I'm in Kroma on Kahombi. But Oko Ethiopia, state UC baby.
Addis Ababa.
Yes. Political book be a Fabia, no people make reference to because of the and yet a dine see no easily going to.
That's right.
Not because of say now Bugatti and how
Mopopia or
yes. Oh, no,
but they serious
or dedicating a life to live for humanity. And I'm a catcher say, obey a pope. The first trip out here to Lampedusa. Oko your fence says Spain.
That's right.
Till baby I'm for crossing soon.
And so.
Baby Omudo Mokoguno. Yes, I refugee in as for that was the first place he went. And no, he decided to live a simple life just to embrace humanity. And always be
so we are going to $100 dependent.
Na say obi kwache no sa Ferrari back or the chair. Fiat team na no oko US the city of New York, you see the city of your friend say SUVs. Fiat na no team or the car. So it's about I don't know the day no people respect those things, you understand? Oh yeah, wow, you hear a number of man for about him. It's not about how many nanka every month. Averagely, he's entitled to $32,000 a month as salary.
That's right.
But or donating to charity, he didn't even take a penny. So it's about building humanity, but it's unfortunate that politics and I don't see say Obia drains or building nipa. No.
Obia interest.
Obia, it doesn't matter from top to down. Obia breeding interest. A pifa one our mark a crabby, but it doesn't mean that we are priority. Miss Anna Mihuno. Your politics, is nurturing criminals.
I like the word.
Greedy bastards. They are so greedy to say you can't even find appropriate words to describe them. Last time I catch us, I quite a wako cafeteria. Baby, our buffet.
That's right.
Not ordinance, I call one minimum, no, I coffee gu. No,
sir.
But man for gu, I want a dino cromina coin room. That is our politics. 7 a girlfriend, not 7 the way, not 7. Wow, we hear why. Obey we no own few cry. That is our politics. So sometimes a man for another serving humanity. Alaska.
Serving God and country.
Oh, when you have right people in leadership position, that is when you can get those things.
But it's serious.
But the said around the kind of greedy bastards, not those. And even these are not kids, grown men who have seen it all in life, who are supposed to be there for others. Elevate people, project people, build people so that you'll be proud and say maybe these are the people I've made. No. Always, forever be a slave. So that, it's sad. But I hope, sir, the generation coming, will have a different mindset about politics, leadership, governance altogether. Because coming leadership position, Alaska, what you do is that you nurture an army of young people. You make sure, say you take them somewhere. So in the future, the people you'll be proud and say, you mention human beings, not just proper because we sit down 40.
This reminds me, sir, one was Emrana last one our cast was a party opposition unimnya sachi obia.
Oh yeah.
But we see MPs being meeting ko be Emra. One MPB waba or first timer. Obisu wom dada me no our board be 3 so. It's also down for this MP on just okoko fighting man. Enti chasa said the outcome no odi na me no the nisa wani minimum on dwini nuano ho.
And there are people who don't even need anything, but yet they will go for it. Like I'm going for it, no cry just to serve others, elevate others, for still about them. So you should understand some of this. If you don't know some of these things, now the emotions could be a child never surprise.
Exactly.
If me I met her,
your psyche,
me met her, my psyche, my gender,
we don't need anything.
Nothing surprises me, and I say. Don't expect anything to be disappointed.
Exactly.
That is life for you. So just leave it normal. Do what you do. Good. At the end of the day, Tanana about Tanahana Wakasano. For a lot of people out there. Sanity. So you're serving a number of people.
Obi to make us a metu dinka kakura.
Exactly. So once you are serving a category of people, whether it comes with monetary incentive, because that's
right.
So some of these things you just let it go. But you see, you need to be very sensible because Obia no ha Rollins power Benya or Ghana Hano, henceforth for Benya BM. Absolute power for 21 good years. What's it 80 through democratic rule? Or no crown or head or form. Wow, Ubedi way.
Megasoko ya diablo do one so man can you be
exactly. So Obia we
what done fertilizer.
Yes, so Nyansani Bianya power, you use it to make a lasting impact on the lives of people. Say I'm this because of this. I am this because of this person. But it's unfortunate, but let's see what will happen. We will continue to preach and make sure, say, we politics in your Diane, Sabaya, Nipa, Abetiasia. Because now a lot of people are coming to the political landscape with the intentions that Madam Abba better we will Misika. Now, what more better we will Sika? You have nothing to do with politics, leadership. Because Alaska, you see, the Tianalas make us say, Obiba no see me will Sika, baby, don't men near children go to Abaman say. Nipana catch us, I have nothing to lose. You cannot go into a leadership position and have nothing to lose. No.
Exactly.
Leadership, if something goes wrong, you as a leader, no, you have something must go wrong for you. Now, if you have nothing to lose, but you have nothing to lose. What about we? No. About we are now, when you see kind of when you know, our leadership governance, there, who did the pardon? Or here ni kuro woman bebo dian can't say do the right thing and they are entitled to do that. You understand? You see, elsewhere they train people, leaders with certain mindset. You will not get it by a hand. I win another ho. Uko tu galam say no nyasika. Bet me be president daddy.
Obedi I me say enche fraud for na be who on parliament.
And I say ya who for na binuma
because who constituency we better say near so ni people so be contest o wo scapa o na party for boom no di nachi.
Yes.
Then you ask yourself say nipa no oil drug dealer, say nipa no oil drug baron, so oil froster, so ye dey yo na party for 2 di etire.
Na Alaska na o man ya yetima say oba ne to so ne so one faso chen obi e okura first class from university. E dey nem kra man no ko social media dia omoto no mutre ni o.
Serious
o so because onim say no na faso wo so obi beto card ya che no.
Ye nim ase ye nim
yan. But wo potential this young man be support na obi amfiu but oba tam sika to car because abaya bi wo so so you see society na here woman that is how it is and the mining yeah you should understand all these
and that's what because akanyanku ponkran fa yenye fertilizer because that's a yenim nyansa
Alaska company for no mudi anim na abro na adwumo no
but say ye gusu kikan na moto na etwimu na mo hesa
amon sesa
Alan the ground cancer akwa
Tell it don't. Me adu
na wakodi
is a very day you do board dey twidi aponyankopon
ashama to say
ashama they say last week betina asikai
that's right
like I say adwubro
yes you boys in say omunda nyame ase so wakasa
and then great
that's right
and e buni ni di the man papa we revere that man his excellency John Dramani Mahama are very key to the success of the NDC
na onim ni oye
so at the end of the day, the Senate come say individual interest and I say individual displeasure.
That's right.
Emma Ashama.
Embutu.
They say there are people who are sympathizing with me. They are worried. People are crying. And people know the reason why they were vouching for me to become.
Okay.
And if you hit the street, you hit the homes of Ashama, it is everywhere.
that lines.
So for Kufu, news portals be capture say process no. I the chief justice is unfair. Na ena mafo bisa say muya maku nipa mutena say no muya maku 31. Ena wo de wo si bibi nti unto aba. So are you trying to say nipa 30 ni nyina se bi omu nim nyansa. Na se ya ka se fairness enu ni de wo hin. Fair no bribe ne apply fairness. Another constitution na wo so ese wo uphold no. Process a wo mu fam no unconstitutional ana say I say MPP ni de o ye dem kra to so ketreja na wo hu bi. I no need question more bisa. Yanko
Alaska, I think that I respect the views Obia Bachelor because
that's
this
right.
is a democracy. And Obia is entitled to express an opinion. But there are your friends saying lines you don't cross.
That's
especially, that lines, about that on logic, reasoning, and common sense. These are lines, they are natural lines. Oh, kasa, a man from me check it, but say these are borderlines you don't cross. Oh, kasa ne tra, then people question why, as a reasonable, logical human being, you are making such comment. A man for bebre kasa, a fenya marking Canada and mami Canada. Alaska, these are people who, according to records, have certain bit of knowledge about law.
That's right.
But so when you're lawyer. Now what in China, now we are very smart and very intelligent and we now for do arms. Now you listen to people who are supposed to have in-depth knowledge about law when they are speaking like Sabi Obia Oye Fundaka. Na onim emra ho hwe.
So Obia Oye Fundaka.
Na speaking to law, menka so Obi Oye Fundaka onye ni power.
Oh no, like
yes, but you see, we know that those people that is their job.
That's right.
On study law. And the one he's speaking to issues of constitutional matters, Alaska, you will not find that clarity. But this is a situation where people who are supposed to know better, know law, are speaking like Sabi Obia or need that particular for like I say who word I may find describe it. Kasa tum all because they are driven by raw sheer emotions. That is a problem. And I think that over the years, Nema adi nya ewo kroma because of this level of dishonesty on the part of some of so-called elite. These jump over elite. Alaska, they are not candid, they are not honest, and they are there just to serve personal interest in us. Whenever Adibi in court in their favor, no, they will find everything possible to make it look like this whole thing is a bad thing. My question is that whether it is Sofia Kufu, whether it is the MPP, whether it is Ghana Bar Association or whoever, are you very peeved about the ongoing process? Let them tell us what exactly or at what point the processes has been outlined so far.
That's right.
The processes that we've gone through so far. Which aspect of it?
And
in direct contravention of established rules of engagement, or if you go under Article 146, where? So if you are speaking like the process is unfair, the process is whatever, just speak to fact. This is not about emotional campaign or emotional crusade. But what they are doing is some form of an emotional crusade and people are embarking on. It is not about whether you like the person or you don't like the person.
That's right.
Now in the past, those who suffer similar fate, was it about likeness? Was it about emotions? Because I've mentioned several times that there are a lot of people who must suffer similar fate. Akufo-Addo sake 4 lawyers, 4 judges. President Mahama sake, your friends are Shraj boss. No, the level is the same as a high court judge. These people have suffered similar fate. They were treated fairly. So that is what I'm saying, sir. When you get to a certain level now, Kasa, Alaska, there are certain basic elements. You don't break them. When you breach them, you breach your own integrity.
That's right.
When you breach basic element of logic, reasoning, and common sense in your line of argument, you breach your own integrity because any sensible person will know, say, no, you are going emotional haywire. You are not making any sense. So now, no matter say Ghana Bar Association for say the resolution bar, you see. these people, they've reduced themselves into an army of comic individuals who are there. Sabi, Obianim say, Ghana Bar Association, the purpose is supposed to serve, no? Alaska, it is no longer serving that particular purpose. Right. Now, no, a political movement. Cheer a certain political agenda. Because now, an opinion may be say, it say, Anti-Chroma, Ghana Bar Association will Chroma say. And in the last 8 years, and some Hununi and some Fua Koso Chroma say, democracy na yebu ni komu no. Ghana democracy na at some point in time, young people were cheering for coup d'etat. It got to a point your democracy nka yebu ni komu. Your democracy has never in its history been stretched to its limit than we experience under Akufo-Addo. The judiciary na kasa came under severe attack. Because there were some maneuverings, there were some executive, you're saying, manipulations. In as if there was a deliberate attempt to pack the court, and a whole lot of stuff were done. We never on a single occasion heard from this bunch of individuals who are now out there barking like dogs. Alaska, when you do some of these things, people will not take you serious. Because there is this strict assumption out there, say, oh, a lawyer there, or more there. But the Ghana in recent time we've known, say, I'm for free school by a lawyer, even do political stages or say, Alaska. Obi on say classroom that crowd thought and so on for so. You've listened to some of them on radio. Or more Kasa, Alaska. The poverty of intellect that they live in their wake. It's so poverty of intellect. It's so astonishing. Lawyer tena radio make argument I be say ofiwuram neba na so ofifie neba because sometimes the ordinary man na only knowledge about law no can even speak more nyansa wom chen people. I'm not saying say all of them because there are smart, intelligent, respectable lawyers in this country, but it looks as if say in recent time no there has been a hostile infiltration of some caliber of people they don't argue on any line of reasoning argument. It's about raw emotions and public sentiment. And no more happy. But Alaska, you have nothing to do with emotions. You have nothing to do with public sentiment. You argue fact. You argue logic. You argue reasoning, common sense. These are your cardinal principles upon which you premise every argument to make any argument. It is some people will find reason. People will find basis for your argument and they support you. Ghana Bar Association, I'm told, they run to about 5,000 people.
That's right.
They go to a conference to pass a resolution and 52 people show up. Some abstain. Alaska, which serious institution in this? As I say, so. And 5,000 people, 52 they show up. Now you form resolution.
That's right.
And bunch of attention seekers. They just want their voices to be heard. They just want to be relevant. And then some more kind of so it's not premised on anything sensible.
That's right.
Because some more kind of so far, Obi a true petition they come out John Mahama. John Mahama they come out Council of State. Council of State will go through the process. Almost say there is merit. We need to establish a committee. A committee has been established. The Chief Justice has been given a chance. Say on your final response and say for number Alaska. From the start to this point, where?
And are you unconstitutional?
And are you unconstitutional? And the way a lawyer now can say a certain portion is unconstitutional. You are not a coffee maker, you are a lawyer. Argue law.
That's right.
Premise the argument on something that is grounded in law.
Because no matter the noise, the law is the law.
Because Alaska, arguments will not be based on emotions, it will be based on factual, credible evidence. There has been an infraction. There has been some kind of contravention. Yeah, this provision here, this. When you start speaking like this, then people know, oh yes, John Mahama boni Ntim Fordjour or Baba say a judiciary, and all your way. But that's not now. Processes now will go through no until recently Akufo-Addo went through the same process. The only difference is say Akufo-Addo transit at the prima facie phase. Mahama has continued.
That's right.
That is the only difference. And where the president has suspended the Chief Justice, if you go to the Constitution, it's quite clear. Red and black. Your friends say red and blue or red and black.
That's right.
The Constitution says, it may establish that prima facie no way. Now, you can see up a committee, Alaska. From that point going, the president may. I'm saying, sir, that is a discretionary injunction. Every lawyer way. This is an explicit thing. You don't even need to go to Makola to understand this. There is a constitutional injunction. It's a discretionary injunction on the president to exercise that power. Ghana Bar Association has no power. Former Chief Justice has no power. Nobody. It is only the president that has power to either exercise it or let it go. And if he has decided to exercise it, nobody can say, I don't know why I know it's unconstitutional. Unless say obi or any constitutional basis to justify otherwise. And yes, as a stand now, Alaska, what's the argument and all these people are making? What is it? Omubiatimia premise this whole thing or anything? I say President Mahan, I don't know, it's unfair. And unfair is an emotional, is somebody
that's right.
Who has emotionally gone berserk. And you are just expressing sentiment. This is not law. It's not a legal argument. The Ekosono, I am Assembly the year Juma. And my culture said me why I support this particular thing. It's not about the Chief Justice. Maybe Nimno.
It's about the office.
It's about the sanctity and the integrity of one of the foundational institutions of our democracy, which is the judiciary. We cannot lose it. Because my culture says we can get executive for being in the same hunu. You bring your parliament or moody or same political football no more. But judiciary, we cannot toy because your integration, your coercion, everything is contingent on how strong this institution is. We cannot have a judiciary where people can just manipulate it, swindle things to their personal advantage. We can't have that. And if you are Ghana Bar Association and you are not worried about the recent decline that our judiciary has been exposed to, then it means, hey, something is wrong. Alaska, if you are a lawyer in this country and you are not concerned or worried about the downward trend that your judiciary not taking in the last 80 years, you must be crazy. Yes, because every reasonable person will know, say, something has gone wrong. If nothing at all, cry just on the face value, Alaska. You were the apex court of the land, Kocaine the ruling bar.
That's right.
And the ruling is deemed very silly, very unreasonable by people on social media who have no knowledge about law. But because they can calibrate through reasoning, common sense, and logic, they can use these three. Because my culture says, law now what's in is circulating within these three parameters.
That's right.
Any law that is devoid of logic, reasoning, and common sense, it is not law. That is why somebody will tell you, say, law is about reasoning, common sense, logic, and good English. Oh, yes. If you lack these things, wait till you go law school 40 years, you train your mind, you will know. That is why some have gone through almost a certificate and the Pongo Misho Muti up to now, but their brain couldn't be polished. And they are TV so bien numa. You know some of these lawyers, they sit on TV and they just talk as if say be offer drinking sport and about
because you know why I've raised this issue. And they say Nana B said the course is unconstitutional, but he has been called to the bar.
Alaska, now I say call to the bar, now you call to the bar.
Oh no, but you see, I was saying my God.
No, don't worry yourself, Alaska. I'm in trouble there. You're a lawyer and you're a lawyer, so him sir.
Okay.
Say see how to we can do coffee. Me boy.
That's right.
Okona say wa punch yan yira. Now person wo de court. I say our lawyer be frɛ no. Can you call Chachuchi Kata so wa punch yan yira nton kodi asem ma wo?
No.
Yes, but we nya asem Supreme Court a. Say wo betima frɛ Chachu.
Very well.
So lawyer na ye wo de wa punch yira be ko frɛ no. Ono ne pedigree no.
Punch lawyer.
Yes, ene wo bi a we nya asem Supreme Court abetam na di wachi. Ko ni mu nyam wo ni mu. So enya lawyer ne lawyer. What asem na make no. So if you are able to make this clear distinction, you will be clear in your thought. And all can win him their walker. What I say no.
Right.
Until the fact of your go to law school, we are about and I'm sorry, lawyer. No, doesn't mean say your friends say and one sense of reasoning. Not lawyer team, but TV is no do about them. Me lady way or yatiti or say yatiti in the day.
And that's
Morris Amport TV so then just send a home dinner time. And Ghana Bar Association, this is your member sitting on TV. Some way a reasonable institution, number one integrity. You call these people and sanction them. That is what you do. A lawyer, because any act of your member be any institution never cut disrepute, it is the duty of the mother body
to
sanction them.
Exactly.
One of your member is sitting on TV insulting a married woman using unprintable filthy words describing about private parts. And the association is not worried. And all of a sudden, you were met from the your friends say from the dark. Say, yeah, it's unconstitutional. Me say these are backing dogs. They are backing dogs. They have no credibility. They have no integrity. First, you know, Nana. People spring argument. I'm a lawyer. No, hey.
But you see, most of them have. I forgot this word. BBB of the same crime. Guilty of the same crime because those members, you know, majority now your former government appointees. And at the end of they are fighting, you know, fighting. So they are double no. Follow the trend. You don't make your integrity a casualty. Exactly. I like the way
you can opt out and fight for Chief Justice. Say, me, I'm a lawyer. Me free say, but don't hide behind Ghana Bar Association.
That's right.
Because in the first place, the institution need credibility in the eyes of right-thinking Ghanaians.
Yes, that's right.
There are people who are lawyers in this country. They don't even regard that so-called Ghana Bar Association. They don't. What has
but I think, sir, I was saying there must be another association. Exactly. That proposal, I
think they can.
They have to do that.
They can. Because you see, this particular thing has been weaponized and become more or less like a political tool. They only become activated when John Mahama is in power.
When NDC is in power.
Okay. They only become activated just to be used as a tool to go after people. And America said, no, the political landscape is standing around. You don't need to be a lawyer to be reasonable. Because I know a lot of smart, intelligent people who are super intelligent more than any of these people making noise out there. These people have never even been to. And these people are an embarrassment to the law profession. I remember the last somewhere, my friend Madam, one of the biggest professor in this country, and I told him, say, me call why am I say me call law school? Because unum argument. Also, so no alternatives no here. Niama man for ya. I say, na hum ti ye na bufu. Because law na yakosia na ye de be boa to build society no. Abaya chinjeje. Ghana nkwane lawyers adana chinjeje for. Edu ko TV so na pa wait ya the same argument. We can kwasasem one we can kwasasem ha. Just say unhu nyansasem bi ewo.
It's not backed by the Omako.
No.
But with emotions.
They are trading emotions. So these people have betrayed their core things that they have learnt at school, and they're just trading emotions, embarrassing themselves here and there.
Okay, in conclusion,
so, things we are supposed to learn and help us here to find build this society, no? And then people have weaponized it, and instead of saying they be no, yeah they chichiri ya ho, and then law ya weaponize it, no? And do better. Any move be as or mind the corner nimbia na ya the court, young ko sign. But the whole essence of learning law is to advance society. Sabaya, young for memra, never to me, and make sure say, yeah, quiet nim, weaving legal framework, yeah, policy in as a for now. Legal framework be a beb guiding as a for but yeah, deviate. People are just learning law just to be judging. Obisu say, me pesa me policy, they say me kusuyan law. He doesn't even understand why they are learning all of this. You understand? So for me, Ghana Bar Association is a rogue institution. You can't rogue out as or might be tell North Korea or no ankasa tell ho no ye de oyo obekun sa na omote just say they are just waiting for way. It's a political tool, and I'm not sure say any serious person will take them serious. They've lost their relevance, and the Omoyan people should see them say they are rogue elements who are fighting for a particular political cause.
Okay,
Chief Justice in Asifo no mo koso say omunim say obiat from ra position portion na emra na ya fom no
amon bontin
na yina discuss say omo de ba na mpa domahama fom emra ye betra studio ha we will tell him to correct those wrong, but until that, and people who submitted the petition time and time have told you that these are not politically exposed individuals.
That's right.
Police ni or no obina defraud no Thomas asema no bro ni bi girlfriend and na koforidua takra de beachfront asase and na bro ni no free Netherlands o tu kwan enti all no and na am say ne girlfriend no ko forge documents power of attorney say bro ni no say on town sa beachfront no. And na okoton asase ma police ni na police ni ne toye enti atin say obi tie ho kire broni say na wo beach front na da han waton say me ton say o girlfriend aton na asem no buy na de court na court no ka kire police ni say na wo ye police ni wo ye lawyer adenti na wanya due diligence na wutimi ma oba we ko forge documents beton ade na ma abra broni na nkasa nya ne de because power of attorney na ode buy o gina so eto free ne ho no fake. Onua okoye no Medina yesi Medina o se hefa baby do me baby e na okose dem na okoye ye na obi a wo ye lawyer na wa ma oba onye lawyer atimi de na dwea bitiu afrodu sei e na branch de tamade ne court na yebugu police ni so na so on tiase o gidi sika e na otamasem no ebe pie Supreme Court e no ho e na yesan bugu ni so a Chief Justice gu nanim ase say we are a senior lawyer, you are incompetent blah blah okoka say I disagree with you ma me ka say yenche no yemfa ntum e na yeche no ye ko detainee no e no ho sansam so I me say nsam no say wutie Genesis ba be free ba a pure personal issue. It has nothing to do with the government, NDC or John Mahama and the other issues. A audit aye no kroma a state institution the audit service a audit of all institutions including the judicial.
Exactly.
Somebody got a copy of that particular audit or no say there has been serious financial infractions because Chief Justice yes who took one for security kwa won't even time security in Sincha me de beba si na nine etiamra wona wo ye Chief Justice na se want me am hodu emra ne niam edi agu ho a kwan biem na beye enti niam na wo ye e breach code of ethics ne ye code of where de adwuma enti no me twen de akwa kwagina nipa na semnie and other people high court
shining star
high court am ruling you say implement you Chief Justice say no mo be implement it watcham you can't do these things Alaska.
That's right.
We are not in tete your friend is
meanwhile ocean is responsible wajia to a lot of the wajia to
Alaska so I'm me kwase wajia to 121 family me dey ne say those who are saying say a politically motivated way no in the past petition na call no maka kira de ye di yi Loretta we no film no your friend say another pre
that's right
and not sure and Richard Nyama or NPP ni
sir
omutimi nya kokoduru abrajo Mahama ye president e tro krata de command say onyi shraj boss di shraj boss no Professor Melson appointed no John Mahama je ye
also based on impropriety or something.
Yes okodi sika o ye say wa ko hand o feel no ko hand airport way
whatever.
Yes John Mahama je ye o hwe mo hu say ade no sabi enyina so wom no committee ne tenase ye omu yi ma me na di na nipa na wo opposition po wo de petition akoma na me na obi dia de ba onya ne dai so
because I don't know your
oh your NPP ni so you see and make say
person on an NPP person.
President Mahama should stand firm because if one are careful na or shiver on this particular thing because people are putting pressure na o move he will be presented as somebody as a unim dia oh
yes indecisive
what are seven American yes so he need to stand firm.
I have no idea
and you tell people say you are president you are in charge unless adena wo ye no unim dia wo ye that is when you shiver.
That is it.
But if you believe in what you're doing
you do
and you're on right track why must you shiver? You see everybody talking without providing legal basis
right.
as a dog barking no
as a dog
oh yes until so you provide any legitimate basis I bet me and impugn the position is taken everybody barking out there should be regarded as a dog that is making noise.
That was Ivan Kyei innocent. This takes us to 11 minutes into 4 p.m. The Ivan Kyei says, Ghana is being governed by constitution. Adi bi aye bi aye demra na eye. Nia John Mahama aye no right from the start out to be edui baby a wafum rano mon chire e constitution nim afenoma ke say Council of States omo oni John Mahama aye ba ko si yem pam we
enti ekwan ben so ana yefa.
That's right.
Sakoba ne say obi to say Chief Justice dibia okra no ekwan ben so ana ebefa say ban say so onu akone yefum so bia ekwan ben so ne yefa edi uniform office.
That's right.
Ekwan ne chair say misbehavior so onu akona anshe so ana say suban bi obeda ne di a say suban no enye suban ba
ana say na hwinye adwuma
ana say ebi ono a wo show say ejuma na or no ye no. Now who on the and I say that is incompetence. Now who on the the next one says so we better petition. A degree against this NPP.
Okay.
These are the grounds.
Constitutional provisions.
That is it. Or say beyond my brother said, oh, you're incompetent. And I say misbehavior. The basic ones, so the first step, no, misbehavior. And then the last one, or say petition against the person. Oh, just say. Now say, and a mood here, and I say, John Roman Mambo General says here, and your petition.
A petition.
And I said, John Mamma, the question, them pass it, and no petition in the bar. And I said, petition it down on no bad day, or by 2 years. Meanwhile, we are even being told, say, and no, His Excellency Nana Danko Akufo Etia be Marcus petition and desire day, Nisaka be. And the wind good juma. Na the air can say, see, and a shrag, dear no. Yet you know His Excellency John Roman, Mamma, I appoint a papa. I win the baby, I appoint here. I on one idiom.
Motorokoi, money, you know.
I'm an you know. Nasa, Nasani Pana Etio Kunyasu. Otiasie. Nasa Sonia Akuna petition. Are the basis for the removal of the Chief Justice. Usutika by on Tiasie. Now, also process is by an ever faso. I ever team you know. Also prima facie case, and only one of the things. And also best setting committee. And also the Council of State. And you know, Council of State in Estinas, you know, the bad no may establish the farm, I know. And then you propriety audit you call for by. I establish a prima facie case against you know. And you know, so and the Papa Nijina. And as I know so and a panel fair case in the Council of State nana. And so mood ye and I His Excellency John Romano Mama. A friend say, a young from so. Now I'll ask that you. Yeah. Once I had to use the boss, no.
That's right.
I go Gina on end that. I ought to no can some more penal.
That's right.
With the intention say, if we saw me organized labor, you know. Some now original SIMPIESO or can everybody His Excellency John Romano Mama.
Everybody.
You see where they are coming from.
That's right.
Na nyamin shira. Your papa Abraham Kumsi.
That's right.
Because as at this morning, no, Papa na someone all can say. Also organized labor airport nas no. Nyamo mu bobo who says His Excellency John Roman Mam china made day presentation no. The issue of the Chief Justice in the crap on man can one
and kaho.
And to whoever be Gina bedroom. You see these political naive people. Almond thinks that they are so smart and then they can push His Excellency John Romani Mama by using the organized labor. You see smartly, you see where they were coming from. So from the organized labor front, you know, then means that they are coming to shake the foundation of His Excellency John Romani by building in AC.
That's right.
You see the fast way of trying to get the man to shake his ground, and then if he should listen to that very man, what are they going to say? Say, I can't trust our pan on the book, no, try no, or no, I can say, Benny maybe. I want to mean take a decision.
That's right.
That's right. You see, these people think they are smart.
Anya Juma.
That is the reason why. And yet now say I catch your papa say yes, no. Sound for we. Almost same be anaso manamuntuo. Anaso mu bibio meye biano. It is calculated. Look at the lawyer or no. Aquacotina. A radio station host him. No can some all establish. African is some I won't some working in Nano. The bad in the womb say, I want Mra His Excellency John Roman Mama from Shubi. He cannot be. Meanwhile, also a lawyer.
That's right.
I will not mention that person's name here. What do I say? And so clearly, no, you see, this particular issue, it is not a personal case. Last 2 weeks and I said last 3 weeks, I stood here for the first time. I'm kind of look. Why? Georgina Wood. And yet, your papa His Excellency John Roman Mama, they are appointing no. And then your papa Tamuso baby ko and appointing no. Yen na nyomba bede, at some point in time when the national chairman, the late Kocaine J, was not happy about the way as she was going about things, you know. His Excellency Professor Mons Anfana no anyade, Anfana no antum. Sanso and I papa John Roman Mama and Subeto no. Or mama minute in the turn of office before. Internet, you know what I say, and even the turn he did not even feel because we did not appoint the Chief Justice. It was the same NPP which came to appoint the Chief Justice. And then, you know, understand the army. And then, offer has a Chief Justice as him. Offer has a Chief Justice as him. Now, ultimate Nasi. You see, you know what they are doing? Mostly, they are trying to play on the minds of Ghanaians.
Exactly. But Ghanaians are what awake.
So, send me and Robika. 92.3. Or see, na, Obisa Sami Jemfi. So, no, 2 kwaya. Nani play economic class no can offer no. Yenhwe sika eye involve. Na whole chief justice na so no tu kwan. Na se ordinary kru ene ne mba e de kwa inform so be na what kind of nonsense is this?
So it's trying to say according to no way 20 years na so but according to no will lay down rules.
Some agency officer are different. And on my manager officer occupy so different. And on near man and more was so to near man was so the 2 and I was so young so ye. And at the end yes so yen and walk away akwakoye. Osimiti kwapai. Na the end yes so okwakoye na wakakoye no in the end. Say yes so we go we are punching. Na so we are punching. Na yes so we go we are koko. Na so no so ko wi akọ meka se bi o do ko wi akọ ntine de ne so se de ko wi akọ om nyom nya akronfo
krono bi every krono bi krono
om nyom nya akronfo. So what are we talking about? You see, it is high time. You see one thing as a NDC you are very careful about. It's about these people because 5 months out of power they are behaving as if they have never done anything wrong, and every now and then they are moving an agenda in the media to make it look as if so only credible than the NDC and yet to and so when they continue to play this negative propaganda and using the social media, then gradually they are driving the attention of Ghanaians. Look at the situation where His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, this issue of part and this thing before the man was leaving office. Na ade opesoye. Ekoye establish say.
Or request rituals.
Yes. Party, mo research eba be claim say won hia say nkola na dey. Ye top part dey dey e dey mo because nkola no be on man. Circumstance mo kom with regards to say no be to top part no nkola bi organize sika nkola mo ye dey. Omuni bi. Now do you know what? His Excellency John Dramani Mahama all the way Edashen manifesto mu asa kase free SHS no enya ade Onua betwem all the way addition in addition to other good things or your man kwai no mu due ne die no ho kan no for the mere fact say in the course of doing these things no they were throwing the part no up and down no on social media. They have been able to get a group of people na mo to part no kwasho no ma traba no so ni na your mama ni Ghanaians adwenya den e di agro. This is the caliber of people we are talking about.
But don't you see, sir, Ghana for in more 2012, 2016, and you're nuni. Shananse Okateche, yes, or yeah, demonstration. Who call it for 3 days? After day 2, but who's Mojai?
Not you. Unim the M1. Who the day 1 embassy, day 2 embassy. Where in this country? I demonstration. I travel beyond 4 o'clock in this country before. Tell me.
That's right.
The and the last before Momba power. As a medium Fimo say, no, Aqua could do an adjo. Time bang. Our circle. And I'm saying some two tear gas, as I saw two rubber bullets.
That's right.
But you had opportunity. For Christ's sake, you are not even a political party, a single individual. Look, Ghanaians and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama should watch for some medium. So could teach free fan. This thing that he's doing. They either stop him now because this is not about democracy as usual. This is a set agenda. It is a set agenda that this guy gradually is playing and is getting people, and there are people behind. What do I say? Because Andrea, some of the things are display crime here mystery. What is this? You and His Excellency John Dramani, you even had the opportunity to come as far as closer to the Jubilee House. Last year demonstration here. Only. Oh, Christ the King hold money.
That's right.
Yeah, Jubilee House on more. About 500 meters.
I'm saying security zone. And I'm saying some sunny rubber bullets. Any tear gas. Me and you be necessary. I was there. You understand? So this group of people, and then almost to say they have been out of power for 4 years, and we have been in power for 4 years, and so whatever it is that we are doing, how can you believe this? And to me, this issue of the Chief Justice, nothing should shift. It's about majority. If 31 people, what one person says that don't make a difference.
Because the issue here is that it is not for nothing. And look, the people are on Kofua, make up the Council of State, Massa, go and look at some of them, their credentials and their background. In terms of institutions that they have served on, their international capabilities, go and check their background.
Right.
So you want to tell us all these promoting us, and you see, one thing is that all of them are not NDC people.
That's right.
Some of them are. So are we saying that people that were voted from the Ashanti region, Eastern region, and other places, so those people who came for all those places who were voted for and came, aside the appointees that came, so those people are not discerning people. So you think that it's not for nothing that 30 people out of 31 will take such a decision, and then you think that you a TUC boss, you can go and stand there. You see, that is the more reason why I think it is time that the NDC, it used to be the case before, and you see we have allowed this opposition party to always use the TUC to get at the NDC. They did it during the era of His Excellency Fly Lieutenant General John Rawlings. They used PJ, if you remember.
That's right.
And most of the demonstration that they staged at that time in trying to drum home, said the NDC government as at the year 1998, 1999 to the year 2000 was PJ was leading it.
So, such pressure groups or whatever it is, you must also have your people.
Is it even fair? Are they not supposed to be independent-minded people?
But that is the order of the day.
Look at the situation with regard to fuel. Fango, Ejija. Not drivers say bread. Then we have the same TUC in place. Meanwhile, it is made up of NPP executives. I think it's time that the NDC as a political party, we have to strategize. Because if 58 people out of 5,000 people can go and sit down, where do they even form a quorum? Let alone even to issue a communique.
Let us say. Live on radio on 92.3 FM. Now, MPP as a political party, then I shall say, and then Musimuko thank you to. After I call Danny stop up to. National chairman said, or two Kwanka council of we Eddie Abase a suspended way no. Yusuf say Alaska the opposition here say Niama pa John Dramani Mahama yen and money Ghana for so an agenda send a bill me Ghana for Ghana for Senior Adams
things say wouldn't him the warrior lose focus. You stay. You see, this privatization of ECG, blah, 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 a byproduct of something, very systemic.
Okay.
And that has to do with the ineffectiveness of state-owned enterprises. A culture that has been normalized.
That's right.
It's a state-owned institution, performing. If we say that is the culture. So we have created a certain culture of ineptitude that is fully accepted and appreciated within state-owned enterprises. So at the end of the day, ECG running laws, Bank of Ghana cry monetary policy as if it's running at a loss.
Bank of Ghana.
So you can mention them. CEO, no. All the state-owned enterprises now has become debt entities running at a substantial debt. Alaska. So if this is the culture, it's normal to fail. It's normal to, and on top of that, entities are yet to moka ye wo krom haya. It's your friends state-owned enterprises, the CEOs. See Enra, what is a way for no moka? Obi, your friends saying internet allowance and as a clothing allowance in Pono so chain. Obi all year Juma, your friends saying public servant all year Juma away. So in Alaska, when I run ECG, Oboka to say you about them, but at the end of the day, no allowance and as if I would to say, well, yeah, will you be worried? There are no KPIs. I did studies. So one to me and performing, ebia, ye punish you and answer way. Bank of Ghana, the year no more over 70 billion. I in the history of this country been see that no. Omoto gold watch moho. Ethiopia 5 billion each. The board members.
And women and near person, mammy tenacity. So that it showed them.
So Alaska.
And that is the whole agenda.
So make this privatization, I don't even want to go into that argument because it's a byproduct. Until we resolve it, all these things will be coming. Can we make it a deliberate effort, say, henceforth, state-owned enterprises in India, we are coming to redirect their focus and set new standard for them.
Okay.
And again, those benefits now are so excessive. Ekahono. Obi a CEO or Jessica over 80,000 Ghana cedis a month.
Odi pay Kocaine president.
But Alaska, adwuma no da no boka te sese bi wabodam.
Oje president apetition. Obi rehu a
yes.
Onumunsa. Obi enije Onumunsa.
Oba ranya boka.
Nanso nanado ase.
Alaska. So the notion we are creating is say your mind dia a bit me boka. But I don't a private person Burma all of a sudden. So it means there is something we are not doing right, and for me that is leadership. That is when leadership must come in and recalibrate some of these and make sure say state, because CEO na ya appoint nipa na ya appoint na dwen say finance party ntina ya CEO. Oh madam for na president ntia. Oh me nua ni wey obi call obi maame. Oh me kotua sika na my CEO. So I know the day no, it is not about performance, it is not about merit, it is not about whether the person can do or not.
Recouping ni sika.
Now akobo bosia da betua beji appointment out there be no onye. Over the years that has been the culture. So I know the day these institutions have become debt-stricken institutions. They are not being effective. And the ECG, you know, and the most surprising aspect of it is ECG privatization, you know, and the same people in government who are supposed to ensure you know, yes, not yababeje. And I don't know at that time, no, Sikano private pocket into the Yabaya ye. Alaska na make sure say
adwumbone
Ghana no enya adwumbone. We need a ruthless person as president.
A ruthless person.
Somebody who is very ruthless but very pragmatic.
Okay.
What's your me say what that sorry anopa. Now bomb pie chiri nyankopon the next person ne din beba wadwemu the president say o mess up. He will mess you up too. Rollins depends on how it is. How dare you mess up? Was ubom pie chiri wunyame wi a wonu say Rollins bi o ha confront no. That is the leadership for you. And but if you don't do the right thing, if you mess up, I'll mess you up. That is the culture we must create.
Messi Adano, na former government appointee be catch him say and Nanado. Yadusha baby anado not to me for kwajo maintain one count. Me home wa higher my
Alaska. So for me, that is the culture we've instituted. You see, most of the appointment we do no, is not based on merit.
Exactly.
And I say nipa no betimi aye. Because obi godfather or baby na wa lobby the man we nua we be. And the politics is say the we need godfather they just
waboka. Yeah ni mo bia there.
Yeah, we ni mo bia there na to wadwene mi. So Alaska nti nipa no kwhye ho na dwe ne say o me wa ha because madam funi we na de me amba. Sometimes if you are even questioning why they are doing certain things, Abakacha said, Papa, I'm not here because of you. President, let me buy.
That's right.
You see that kind of culture. So we have created a certain sick culture. I give you rise to some of these your friends say failure.
Madness.
I am normal.
Say every this madness.
Yes, and it has become normal. But Senke dia access state institution based on performance and as for Nipa we hold you by the balls. Another day, no people will sit up and do the right thing because a private person between by AEC Germany yeah. I don't think a government into me yeah. Alaska, a buying crew for a private person difference being the womb. Private for 1 year for, but why are they able to do it? Banker states don't know what the resources and they needed this thing to do it. But that is the culture that we've created for ourselves. So for me, I think say Senema when you know be free it should stem from the top. The president need to make it a deliberate policy. Say going forward, you know, my focus is on state-owned enterprises. First of all, huge salaries, no more taking is to begin to slash them.
Exactly.
Yes, we need to review the emolument we are among for JJ. Any other benefit that comes with it. Because if we are unable to do some of these things and allow this trend to go on, say yeah, never. And the Akanabaya Kasa, whether ECG or private or government or private people will come, it will be a cabal. And Nippon or mobile phone ordinary private people, it's the same people in power, none of the come boom. I don't know private person. So they'll see who PDS and I'm about to take over. So I'm happy President Mahama today is insisting say he will not privatize a friend saying ECG. They are privatizing near Masadia, and which means I'm more intimimu, and I am privatizing presidency.
It shows us, say, and you're not all privatized, and you're to Obama, because leaders are to solve problems.
Yes, I understand privatization is part of a larger government, your friend saying, a bodulus and yet the operating. But there are other areas you can outsource, you can go to for private way, but critical government infrastructure, you can't hand it over to private entity. Okay, America is a power sector idea. No, you can't do that because these are critical infrastructure. Any DBA because to be will bring the country down. Now notice Portugal and France, yes, will be a hacky or more power grid that the whole of Europe, some part, no munya light.
Sir.
That is how serious some of these enterprises are. So when they come to some of these things, they even have national security implications. So you don't hand it over to private person to manage. Then I say for
that data.
Yes.
What do you expect?
Yes. And a private entity and now to where talk credit empty and no man done with data and as for their loans. And now what one of my send do you want to loan in Sabian besides I found munya data. They are taking it from all these people. I want for controller kwa Nippon war pay a buying payroll so I did your phone number. Then they are sending you loan and as for them. They don't even have the right to do that, but they are selling this data to people. When they are away. So our mine is so ineffective. So be a year the OPE. That is why I'm expecting President Mahama to rise to the occasion and become very, 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 very strong. Because on minor yebuno, criminals doors to change ni papa.
Oh yeah.
Akron 4 doors to change or more ready to steal.
And we are white green so say you do the right thing, they will come after you.
Yes. And we see a minor the most dangerous people are even those we give them power. When they get power, they become even more dangerous.
So like the most dangerous aspect to arm a fool.
Yes. Now say nipa no expect so obenya to me. Or no, now all of a sudden when you to me. Onua onimunu crofis on deserve. Hey, na me pa me nie. We see that kind of yes. So it's a classic sign of a fool getting power. No one arrogance and omuso. And to be a with me needing come out friend nesreno next our friend come fabiem. Sanity offer no bakateo. That is the attitude. Na se for no. But Haska na be ameka. See yourself for manya. We need to be very straightforward and we need to be very frontal. And confront issues now. A border your match. When the name Chroma as state-owned enterprises has been a problem.
That's right.
Why name? My all the time nearby this is a privatizer who is injecting efficiency into state-owned institutions, making sure that they work. Because they are the highest paid people in this country. We cannot entertain and be financing such mediocrity in this country and say that it's normal. It's normal. Such madness can never be normal. We need to. So ECG privatization, even accepting to privatize is an admission of failure on our part.
Exactly.
Say, we are incompetent, we can't do it. So we let us outsource it. Over the years, the ATM outsourcing in the Korea is saying. Because we are handing over to a bunch of another criminal cartel sitting somewhere.
Those we thought that they can manage, one more the amount Crawford, they hide behind only shareholders.
Yes. And it becomes a cash cow, just like Blasters. Some Blasters are a cash cow. So the whole entity become a cash cow, and people are cashing in. Our mind, nobody's benefiting. We need to get our priorities right. You see, answer then you move in one direction. Now, Alaska, this is a country opposition. Namhana power nam saying they don't come eye to eye. But governance is not. And yet the beyond the year changing me. Sometimes you need to buy bipartisan consensus on some critical, on some vital issues where border on national interest. Serbia will move in one direction as a country. But here from an party and from 6 to 6 and a Choka TV, so wait, just say you don't see any common ground. There is no sense argument in a man for Yansa be and Nimnaza de Hunu from our focus here. What is the common ground?
Right.
What are we built on as a country? And when we do these things, you know what happened? There are people within certain in these state institutions. They are not politicians, so they take advantage of this nasty politicking and they do their worst. ECG, these are people who are making millions. I say, your friends that Randy Abe say, Coco board.
Serious.
I'm for importing Nema.
Boss,
containers.
I'm containers 200.
Yes.
Just I'm the ECG.
Yes, ECG container. Now when him other people also container. A business your container is Nema Ekoso. And because the whole thing, no, I question dog fight and a man for
sorry, I'm not piano pesting. We say, a between me, Canadian.
Or be critique Akuromfo. Say, what you say, only a bandit.
And so this is what the country should be going on.
According to say, when we are, now when we are, now when we are. And Kuromfo papa nankasati baby.
It's on the mother side.
I yet to say, yes, who cause circular. So to make us your family phone waha. Nebi say time ben ye fine. O go no sit na se meba. Obekwa ko yi abrel. E di sa na nanado obebu Ghana.
That is all.
E dunya ye sa na ko wi aba udwane kwa ya ko to ana no ono afa mic. Obe clear osisi ya.
So that is
Me sorry anopa bia ni me pesti wie say wom. E between me and market. Ko bom nsuo ko di sikani nachi no wia wabeka kiro se konti 24 no ya hiafo ono ne wo sika ono kwa ne sese okasa kodi nachi na eduru ho abete yenka eduru ho konti 20 no me I will storm there me storm ho na me storm ho abete bia nwia me ba konti 20 Ghana aba bia ni wa ye ni mabronye o me ba be do them e wo konti I won't hide it Anyafo association no we are come to take over MPP near the MPP about power 2028 and market ekuo no MPP for your breaking in the Japan obia one ni benya asem bia wo MPP mu no one na na akomia ko ye o so na feeding na na akomia one na atosinya problem na atosi udrose kakraka me na na mehwew one ya adoma ko ba fi o se ya adoma ko ba fi ye hiani me ho na agiska to aduane di one chairman kutia wanya ne ba bi ko ogu so da adakam sikani bi anchen chairman kutia what se wakasa da se chairman kutia support no nti one papa na ya aka besin na omo nka asemfo mienu papa na wu she frigim because chairman kutia ko support ba omia nti one na ya aka that is Canada Japan for you what is here one how akum say teacher ni yani tisel ka teacher ni yani se ka nyame Canada Japan ka wo how akum say teacher yani tisel nyame kwa na me kwaji post ewa akofo ado ma wa ka wande be ma post meaning say akofo ado nim ye oye no Canada Japan a nka akofo ado ni adwen say oba aponte how akum sin mu nyina mo te how akum sin issue no teacher ni yani tisel insulting teachers o trade de na wo me na ma obedi MP me na ma waduane MPP mo wato aduane ama obia wa finance party ni cha obia nya bia me bisa wo na nwumri da bia ma finance MPP ma finance MPP ma finance MPP no wada sorry da kurubi ma Canada Japan afre MPP fo nyina se me nso we na manya afri MPP wo what be da me bisa wo da bi menti on TV da how evil and devil utobia oyensikani bre ahoyiya baye dambo jimie he's number 1
Debbie I want to be yefu dambo
Debbie film
ye be yefu and no ya will sit here
utobia ahoyiya sikani bre ewonu mu a eye yewura Canada Japan na yimi yewura na free ho oye dishonorable person wa feed obia wa MPP
including you also we are very ungrateful
tie me me no wo din koma nka se what say ne nkrofo I am the type of keke me target to say me no wo ko a o errand boys I don't respond to them hwem ye that is why I mean do mahama on to me defeat me what on to me defeat me that you know why me no son to come a o boys no I have no time because boys in the south officer boys here and to boy baba di matema na abranya masora nopa na makorrespondo uko bo bi pa say brabe di abranya ta abranya na makor me I don't do that me nya bi krada da bia me nya tena hyehyese nipa we I will fight you a wo nipa bia no ka asem mayi na no me nya sora nopa keke Kocaine gansa mawionam kwaku gansa mawionam wa bonsam won krofo afiri nkyɛn bia no mente wo masem
but I don't know wa what platform so unity almost
ye call presidential election wo aboka na say food soldiers sign and a different kufuor penso besin ne Canada Japan abo mo a dabioa no oguso kase ye moa food soldiers oma ye food soldiers mako 10 kufuor penso no onyaye na nado penso ni onyaye a odi ahwe food soldiers no man na oma ye mako 10 ma ye peten pe enipa mako du kufuor penso adokodoko de a onyaye nyina na nado mfie nwotwa dokodo ma ye NPP 10 wo mo ya full soldiers wo mo wo fam a na wo nibi na wo Canada Japan wo na wa pagya wo mo ma ye ma ye hu wo mo.
That is why leadership must change. Certain agency, certain swiftness, certain timidity as a bum.
That's right.
Now I'm who said now no near mess and these are the objective. This is where we are going. You don't play nice when you're dealing with criminals. You don't play nice when you are dealing with potential criminals. Because within your own government in the crown, potential criminals in the door so change. Your friend is saying you need to assert yourself and let them know, say, I'm here as a red line. If you cross, I don't mind whether you are my destiny or the consequences are there. But yeah, no normal. There will be a buyer the opera. No, the same thing.
But I say, Mako Alan Graft. So I did be here. Okay, I said prior to 2016 elections. Nationwide, Unam ECG office be ECG is not for sale.
Yeah.
So MPP are hiding behind ECG. Ama omug just said someone too much on Mahama Obeton ECG.
Which was not true.
And then fast forward, it will be our ECG bia to Abatia NDC. Fast forward.
And they came.
One more buy no me PDS no. ECG kept quiet.
Yes, in 2019.
Obiankasa.
Yes.
And yet
in 2009, 3 months. Then a friend saying,
so na me tie chire. Satana me wo Eastern region. Could you believe say na Eastern region almost ye press soiree into no to zap ye call na ECG mpanifo na ye omo de na omo ka say ye wo na Onapo FM na just say NDC omo percentage no munya no no dey ye frequency o say NDC yanka yan 20 amokura kan ye Jimmy Sabi but first so they came to say it and ECG kept quiet and these are the people criminals in normal managing ECG.
Yeah, that is it. And they are so there. That is why they are so messing us up.
So I am going ECG.
Well, ECG issue no. Alaska. And now I mean okay say as of the year 2016. I be fear beam. Now ECG a profit and as ECG a profit.
Now the your profit.
We were being told by the then deputy minister, I am oil minister, that ECG as of December 2016 make it profit of about 550 million Ghana cedis.
Including Gridco.
They were all making profit.
Exactly.
Companies like GBA 2.3, the oil refinery, Boast and other things, under His Excellency John Ejekunkufo in the previous times, we never knew that our companies around make a profit. But under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Papa Professor Amos, they proved to Ghanaians say it is not about privatization, but Ghanaians, when we put in place the right measures, Ghanaians can be able to run this institution and those institutions will be able to make profits. So in 2016, we were making profit. Now, after the time we were exiting power in 2016, what was the state of Boost? What was the state of Ghana Oil Refinery? To the extent, say, oil, stock almost about 60,000 friends, oil, no, a certain percent, about 60,000 barrels or whatever. I refine Ghana, though. As I set all the machines and everything in place. Refine your oil. In coffee buy, what happened to the oil?
I'm the tank farm.
All these institutions, they were making profit. And then, say about not the same person. Signal. Say I was say you ECG The same person who ran it proud to the year 2016, from the year 2012 to the year 2016, or from the year 2009 to the year 2016, and say if you are they ran and made sure that all these government institutions were able to make profit. No said ne on tongue. Into be all that I saw preparing the company with the intention, say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will come and make mention of the fact, say, you better ECG. I'm a man, Apple Musika Kwako Toby, no more mismanaging your music to go to Papa on tongue. Like Ivan Kyei, if he had made that pronouncement there in the first place, you know, it showed gross incompetence on his part.
Exactly.
What you say? Now, one signal it was also sent, and they say, Nature said the problem of ECG, you know. What I say, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will not be able to solve it. A brono so, and nothing or cast or provided or privatized, you know. But are you even aware? Say, answer Kofu ebe hani overpower in the year 2024, 2025. Unim say on the 5th, you doom so.
That's right.
On the 6th, you doom so. On the 7th, and you doom so. And you know what? My say the reasons for the doom so. As at that time, as one overpower, one, say a maintenance issue. And no, and a massive power fluctuation as at that time. No. So before they will even hand over power, alas, do you remember? So there were before they will even hand over power to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, there were power outages, and maintenance was cited as one of the reasons.
And they are telling us, sir, and you doom so, you doom CSC.
You understand? So before they were even handing over governance to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, ECG was in crisis. But you see, our failure is that after the minister had come out to communicate, actually Ghana Fund say yes, this is the situation. Even Fango Crapo Mujama and Crapo say and manage ECG Crapo and do 2 days and I say do 3 days.
Tie Napo.
The ministry, we've gone past the era where we had 72 to 96 days of lights out and 6 hours of light on. We are in the era of Doom CSA, which is profoundly different from Doomso. Doomso, as inflicted on Ghanaians, has only happened as characterized His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's governance. He is the only president on record that for 4 years that he reigned, for 4 years that he ruled.
Right. And during their time, no, who say doom CSC. So today, if they are telling you say you doom so maybe see party national Sudan kasa ya abuanti ni mo mu ye nyina
calculated well rehearsed.
And now Ghanaians are, we are not kids.
No.
You have voice. And this a doom CSC this time around.
That is why the reference, you know, yeah, but that call on the feet. And mom said, what are the things that happened before the on the 7th of October? Edma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. What was the state of ECG as at the time they were taking over? Now, this same Bank of Ghana, under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, was Bank of Ghana not making profit?
No way.
As at the time he was handing over, was Bank of Ghana not making profit? Today, what is the state of Bank of Ghana? So clearly, you see, Ghanaians as a people, they say who's uncle, we say anything they are doing on social media no deceptive. And ye bibia omo ye say be omo jo man ho anaso mo adwempa e de mo man no. Wo wasa o man no, wo ka say when the elephant can baba be see Ghana. Elephant baba no baba be see Ghana that. On am kwan ben so no dey ba. So I think say it's high time
right.
The sector minister the best channel. Whatever the problem is,
because you let Ghanaians
know. Because I overheard him this morning. I say, yeah, Papa, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I say, whatever the situation is, I'll fix it. But no, he will fix it, and we know His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will do it. He has done it before. But the issue is say Siana. The other one say Siana. Emma sometimes say Kaniano, Edum na sono. You should let Ghanaians know. Because already an answer, yeah, Babe take you over na days are a precedence about take over. No, now they were doing so before we took over. So let us know the situation itself. What is going on? If it's maintenance issue, as you have mentioned, give us the details of it. Whatever entails that is wrong with ECG, let us know. If it's a group of people, just like you are saying in 2016, time His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Ebabe ST power, hold placards. ECG right. Is not for sale. And then when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was overthrown, and I said the same group of people yet on ECG, a moment so what it means is there is a cabal within the ECG affiliated
to NPP. But I say, Abushia, thank you very much. Alan the Craft Kwanzaa. Now today, looking at over your WhatsApp, Facebook says here now, nipa about 1.3K, and we almost to me follow ya. If you look at the commenter, one more the Emma, fantastic submission so far. Alan the Craft Kwanzaa, Moda was also Ivan Kyei innocent. Yenda UK for no so asipa. More Maryland also yada mase papa for accepting us to be number 1 in Ghana. Yes, yada mase. Mamin Kao say Focus Media Awards no. Yeah, 2 abano answer the befa course no more than star 426 star 60 hash. Star 426 star 60 hash. Me bacho send there. If I just enter nominee code, me code ni TF 5650.